On Christmas Eve, the day before the release of The Witcher: Blood Origin on Netflix, desperation must have set in, because that's when the official Netflix Witcher Twitter account released one of the cringiest pieces of advertisement I have ever seen, in the guise of a video reel of the cast giving you 10 reasons why you should see Blood Origin.
It has the first kiss between two men in the show.
The costumes are divine, the makeup, the hair, bon appetit.
Suffice to say, all of these 10 reasons essentially boil down to one. Because just like Disney's Strange World, Pixar's Lightyear, and Bros to add in a live-action comparison, the general pitch here is that you need to see Blood Origin because it's as woke as it gets. In this editorial, I will begin with breaking down who this pitch is for and why no one else need care one bit about it, before giving my counter-argument as to why you should consider maybe watching something else this Christmas instead. Let's begin by establishing that Blood Origin is not directly based on any of the books by Witcher creator Andrzej Sapkowski, nor is it based on any of the games inspired by those books. Instead, it comes straight from Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich, the showrunner of the Netflix Witcher series, which is only loosely based on the original books. More than that, we have learned that Hissrich's writer's room hold those books beneath contempt, which is the reason why Henry Cavill quit the series. There is a popular misconception that Cavill quit specifically to return as Superman, but as we've covered before, that is just that, a misconception. Henry Cavill quit because Hissrich and her writers ruined the source material and for no other reason. The reason I bring this up is to emphasize the point that Blood Origin is the brainchild of the very same writers who made Henry Cavill quit and of nothing else. These are the same writers who turned on Cavill and after the fact accused him of being a toxic and problematic gamer, for the high crime of demanding fidelity to the source material in a series that he made abundantly clear from the get-go that he would only be in as long as the writers did the source material justice. And of course, they did no such thing, and Blood Origin is the culmination of that. From both the earlier trailers, posters, and especially this clip of the cast giving 10 reasons why you should see Blood Origin, it is clear that the recurring theme here is diversity and inclusion, much like it is for the Netflix series at large. Even though this is diametrically opposed to the source material, which is inspired very specifically by Polish and Slavic prehistory and mythology. Oh, and some Elric. Let's not forget Michael Moorcock's Elric, there's definitely some of that. Be that as it may, the point I'm making is that if you're a fan of the books or the games, Blood Origin is not for you. Blood Origin is very specifically for those who thought the books and the games were problematic and fixed by the diversity, representation, inclusion, and girl power of the Netflix series. That is who Blood Origin is for. Those who place diversity and inclusion above storytelling, above character development, and above fidelity to the source material. It is made for the same target audience who saw and who made Strange World. It is for true believers and cultists residing in bubbles that occupy certain postcodes in LA, New York, and Portland. So, now that we've established who Blood Origin was made for, let's briefly see who it was not made for. That's right, literally everyone else. If the box office of the year 2022 taught us anything, it was that the audience were never into this wokeness in the first place, and they're actively rejecting it now. Case in point, even in countries where these movies aren't outright banned, they're starting to get content warnings. Every single movie with a whiff of wokeness in them this year underperformed at best, and those that featured wokeness as a major selling point all bombed, and in a spectacular fashion. Case in point, both Lightyear and Strange World are among the biggest bombs of all time, and relative to its lesser budget, so is Bros. By Marvel standards, so is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. But getting back to Blood Origin, if you are a fan of either the Witcher games or books, or generally fed up with Hollywood dividing people into groups based on ethnicity and gender and assign their worth thereafter, then this series isn't for you. But while The Witcher by now is a lost cause for Netflix that they'd be better off cancelling sooner rather than later, and some may be sorry to see the potential inherent in a Witcher series starring Henry Cavill lost, there is a silver lining here, because Blood Origin failing could turn into another genuine learning opportunity for Netflix. With the exception of Amazon and Bob Iger's Disney, who remain deeply committed to burning shareholder money on the bonfire of wokeness, everyone else in Hollywood got the message audiences sent loud and clear this year. While it will take years before we as audiences see the results of this on screen, we have heard from numerous insiders at several production companies that the most woke of scripts, the ones so virtue signaling that they were guaranteed a green light only a couple of years ago, are no longer being considered. The parties in Hollywood who aren't propped up by financial players who only invest in Hollywood as a means to a different end need the favor of the audience, and the audience has shown abundantly clear what they are not into. While Netflix productions aren't bombing in theaters, they have their internal success metrics behind the scenes, and we have heard that even Netflix are starting to get a fine collection of data points which clearly demonstrate that the kind of subversion we saw with Masters of the Universe Revelation isn't paying off for them either, quite the contrary. Still, some more data points to that end would only serve to drive the point home even further, and The Witcher Blood Origin has the potential to be an excellent such data point. If many enough choose not to watch it, or almost as good, begin watching it but don't finish it, that would be bad news for Lauren Hisrich and her fellow toxic creators. But it would send Netflix a very clear message of what not to do going forward. As such, I will not be seeing or reviewing The Witcher Blood Origin. Will you? If so, let me know why or why not in the comments.